Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jeremy with Relentless Stringing. Hope you guys had a happy holidays, good Thanksgiving. I know if y'all follow my Instagram account, I posted up a few heads that I was stringing up over the Thanksgiving break while I was out of town up in the mountains. Wanted to show you guys those today to give you a little closer look at them, kind of talk a little bit more about my thought process with stringing them, maybe a few tips you guys will pick up to help you out when you string. First up, I will show you guys a head that I kind of tinkered with to make it a little bit better considering the head that it is, but it's a Brine Recruit. Basically, one of the players that plays for me had two of them, and parents wanted to restring them for Christmas for him, but it's a super wide head. If you guys have never had or seen a Brine Recruit, it's a pretty thick plastic. It's kind of a heavy head and super wide. To me, it kind of resembles the old Brine Edge with the face shape of it. But they actually gave me two sticks, two heads to string for whatever reason. This one, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the whole sidewall right here has been burned. It looked like it got left on the eye of a stove or something, but the whole thing is just destroyed. So I talked to the parent and was like, this head is garbage. So I did what I could with the other one that was in still pretty good shape. So I cleaned it up. Actually, I pinched the head, the throat, to give it a little, did the best I could with the head. In other words, keep it short and simple. But you guys can see the difference and how I pinched it. I always try to keep it within regulations, definitely. So it's a stupid reason to get a penalty if your stick is illegal. So I always follow the stick regulation rules as much as I can. I always go a little wider than opposed to narrower. So gave it a good pinch, which is gonna, give it. Can't even hold it. Give it a little bit better channel. So it's really hard to get a really narrow channel that's going to give you the hold that you want and a really wide-faced head. So I think it was pretty successful. Did one straight nylon and two U's on it. Again, pretty easy, nothing special, but I know sometimes you don't always have access to really nice heads, so I try to help them out as much as possible. So that's the first one I did. Next up, what I ended up doing is that other Brine Recruit that was not salvageable. I ended up going out and picking up a Maverick Spider, which I don't know if you guys saw. I picked it up at Play It Again Sports. It was a brand new head, still had the tags on it, for a really, really good price. So, I was happy with it. I love stringing this head. I love the face shape. Everything about it is a really good head. It's a little, for considering what it is, it's a little stiffer than what I really like. It's not a super stiff head, but it's got a lot of the parameters that meet my personal options of what makes a good head. I would definitely use it if I still played in high school or college, but it's a great head. It's fun to string. Always get a solid pocket with it. If you guys can see it with the shooting strings, but good channel. Just did straights across with this one. I actually strung this one up with 20 millimeter mesh. Give it a really, really, really soft feel. This player kind of has, a hard catch a little bit, so I tried to soften it up as much as possible for him to help him out. So I think it'll perform well for him overall. It's a good color scheme too. The blue and green was a good call. He wanted his head, or the parents wanted me to string up their heads with our team colors, which is blue and white. So I think the blue ended up working out well with the neon green head. And then one of our players, one of their friends donated, I know I posted this up a long time ago, donated this head along with this STX old school aluminum 6000 shaft. Easily this head right here is probably 10 plus years old. It's the original Proton, STX Proton. So I unstrung it and just had some extra mesh laying around. This is, I don't offer this mesh on my website, but it is a design that I will do sometimes. I had this piece laying around and it was blue. I was like, hey, it's close enough to our team colors. So this will be a team stick. So if anybody's stick breaks during a game or they forget their stick, believe it or not, which happens more than you think. I don't know how you guys' teammates are, but I have guys that show up before games and or practice and have left their stick at home. So I'll have this in the car or bring it with us at all games so they can play with. Just very simple stringing. Again, the old Proton, very wide head. So getting the hold and whip that you want sometimes is not always ideal, you know, so you have to make the best of both worlds. So I strung it up with the Shenango top string just to create a little bit better channel for you. And plus, I don't know, I think it looks pretty cool with this die design. Forces you to look right down the middle of the stick. But here's this guy. I haven't even thrown with it yet, to be honest. I don't know how it even performs, but I imagine it would be pretty decent. You know, just be one of those things that happens over time. Somebody needs it. And also, if you guys visit the website frequently, you'll see that I do a lot of limited edition pieces for memorial foundations. You know, we just did the breast cancer mesh throughout October, September and October, where we donate a portion of the funds to the Breast Cancer Foundation. There's also a tournament that our team participates in every year down in Savannah, Georgia, and it's a memorial fund that goes into supporting New Start youth programs as well as teen driver education courses, because the young guy, youth lacrosse player in that area that was really heading up the sport down there was killed in a car wreck. So his father started that foundation, which I think it's a great cause. You know, I'm all about supporting things that I, you know, think is good for the sport or just a good cause overall. So I do a piece of mesh every year for that and donate a portion of the proceeds. Of course, on Instagram a few weeks ago, when I was experimenting around with the design I wanted to do this year, I threw up a couple different designs. The foundation colors are yellow and black, but this year I kind of changed the yellow up a little bit and went with a volt instead of just a yellow. No particular reason why, just kind of went with it. It's kind of what I was feeling, just kind of went with it. So with that being said, I had an experimental piece which is 2 volt and 1 yellow. I know it's probably kind of hard to see that volt color in this lighting. So this was a piece I was deciding on, but ultimately I settled on this design right here, 2 black on the outside and a volt down the center. So this is the official 2014 Ricky McAllister Memorial Lacrosse Mesh that will be going up on my website today or tomorrow, just depending on how what kind of time I have to get it up on there. So this is what will be on there. It will be $20 for the mesh. 20% of that gets donated to the foundation, which will be presented. The check will be presented to Mr. McAllister the weekend of the tournament, which is February 15th and 16th. So that's Sunday the 16th. Once all monies are in for the mesh, I'll present a check to him. So, you know, the more that's purchased, the merrier, and it's a pretty sweet design too that I think can be universally used. So it doesn't really specify a certain team or not, so it's kind of a universal color scheme and design. So with the 2 pieces that I originally started out with, they are strung up on 2 brand new brine blueprints, which will be going up on my website. And if they don't sell before the tournament, I will take them to the tournament and have them at my vendor tent. So obviously these heads will be purchased strung up as is, and of course I will take the 20% of the $20 mesh from each of these heads sold and donate, since it does have the mesh on there. But a little closer look at the actual stringing process of these. Just recently started stringing the Shenango top strings, and I have to say I really do enjoy it, but you have to be extremely careful of the whip that can come from stringing these. One thing I have noticed, whip, hold, all that is subjective. Each person likes something different. Personally, I don't like a lot of whip. And one thing that I noticed, that if you string this with a 9-diamond top string, that you will have a significant amount of whip. I mean, it's not out of control, but it's more than what I personally like. So I actually strung these with a 10-diamond top string, which allows a little bit more, a little softer, looser top than the 9-diamond, which doesn't pull it as tight. Another thing you have to worry about, depending on the head and how many sidewall options you have, if you're very limited and you try to do a 9-diamond Shenango top string, it's going to take your head and pull it down. It's going to actually warp your head flat so it will meet the sidewall. So that's another thing you have to be careful of. Doing it with a 10 diamonds top string does alleviate that. I'm not going to say it 100% it will, but from the 4 or 5 times I've done the Shenango top string, it has eliminated the head warpage. Especially if you have a really soft or flimsy head, it's going to warp it if you like this type of stringing. So just a little personal tip that I've come to find out from stringing a few of these, and I'll pass it on to you guys. This one I have strung with no interlocks down the side, and just kind of give you an idea what you'll see out of that. When you do not do interlocks, it's going to allow a little softer channel right here. So as the ball comes out, it's not going to catch on the channel as much, since there's nothing really holding that mesh extremely tight to the sidewall. So this one has no interlocks going down. Nice bag pocket that'll shift mid to low, which is what you want with the Shenango top string. The second one that I strung, I did interlock the sidewalls. I interlocked 1, 2, and 3 down. If you guys, I know the lighting is pretty bad, but where I tied on, and then 2, and then 3rd is interlocked in, which is going to pull a little tighter channel. But, again, it's all whatever you guys like. I try not to string everything the same. Just try to give it some variation, all with functional stringing. This one is going to hold the pocket a little more mid to low. Doing the interlocks is not going to allow it to shift as high as that other blueprint that I did. But, again, each one is going to function just a little bit differently. And these are pre-strung. I try to string all my pre-strung heads as a general position head. I don't try to do anything that's going to target defensive players, middies or attack or face-off guys. It's just a universal string that I do because you have no idea who's going to buy these heads. So those are the heads that I strung up over Thanksgiving break. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit more insight to them. Stay tuned for a special equipment deal that I've got for the Ricky McAllister tournament, which I'll be shooting a video for that and uploading it after this one. So make sure you participate. It's going to be awesome. Talk to you guys later.